Your boy Jose from Oakland Latinos United with part 8 of Live with Jay. This is my every weekend live feed I do from now. Now I'm trying to do it every weekend. And sometimes I'm going to do it on Saturdays. Sometimes I'm going to do it on Sundays. Tonight I'm doing it on a Saturday. So hopefully we can get more people to join. I'm a little late. Sorry about that. I was at the grocery store. But yeah, I got here. I had to unload some groceries real quick. Went to the store before it closed. But I am here. Maybe like 10 minutes. I started maybe like 15 minutes after. But it's all good. 10:30, 11:30, don't matter. I'm here with a live feed. See who's out there. See who wants to say what's up. If you're joining me, drop a line. Say what's up, Jose. How you doing? This is Jose with Oakland Latinos United. I'm back out here with a new live feed for you guys to enjoy. Any suggestions or anything you want to talk about, drop a note and let me know, and I'll talk about it as best I can on this live feed. Any questions you might have, anything you want to add to the conversation, or if you just want to say hi, Jose, I'm so and so from so and so, drop it. Drop the note. So what's up? How's everybody doing? Like I said, I'm trying to do a live feed every week, every weekend. Sometimes I'm gonna do it on Sundays. Sometimes I'm gonna do it on Saturdays. I always post that I'm gonna do it before I do it. So I started this live feed now. This is part 8 with Live with Jay. A lot of stuff going on in the news. A lot of people out there getting sick from the COVID. So I hope a lot of you guys out there are taking care. It is winter, so diseases usually, or at least bugs or you know what do you want to call it? Not bugs, but fucking like sicknesses. You know what I mean? Like cold, flu, stuff like that. It runs wild in the winter. You know what I mean? Usually people get sick in the winter, so it's not a surprise that COVID has had an uptake in the winter time. You know what I mean? But I just hope a lot of you guys are taking care of yourselves. Wear your mask, exercise, take a lot of vitamin D, zinc. You know what I mean? Be safe, man. Don't let this shit fucking get you, because it's no joke. I have friends and family that work at hospitals, and they tell me that it's no joke. That it's like overcrowded with people that are coming into the hospital, and people are just dying left and right every day. So just be careful out there, guys and girls. You know what I mean? You don't want to get sick. You know what I mean? You want to survive. So just take care of yourself as best I can. I try to exercise every day. I take vitamin C every day. I'll try at least every day. You know what I mean? I take zinc and multivitamins and stuff like that. I try to take care of myself, because yeah, it's no joke. I don't think, you know, I'm not a person that thinks it's not real. You know what I mean? Of course it's real. People are getting it, so just be safe out there. You know, is the vaccine gonna work? What do you think of the vaccine? You know what I mean? Is it gonna work? Is it BS? Is it gonna change anything? We'll see. I guess time will tell. You know what I mean? But if you're joining me, if you're on here, drop a note. Let me know what's up, where you from, or if you don't want to let me know where you're from, just what's up. If you want to add anything to the conversation or want me to talk about any particular subject, just let me know, and I'll be down to talk about it. You know what I mean? But till then, I guess I'm just gonna talk about what I want to talk about. But yeah, I just hope people are being safe and wearing your mask and keeping a safe distance. I know it sucks, you know what I mean? It really sucks, but what can you really do, man? You just gotta be safe. But like I was saying, if you're joining me, drop a note, say hello, add on to the conversation, or if you want me to speak about another subject, drop it. I'll talk about it as best I can. I'm just joining in. Hello, hello. Somebody else said 100. What's uppers? How you guys doing? Glad you guys are joining. If you're just joining, I was talking about the uptake in COVID in the Bay Area and in the California and in the United States. I have a lot of I have family members, and I have Oh, thank you. Someone said I like your neighborhood videos. Thanks. I have a lot of friends that work in the medical field, and I have family that works in the medical field, and they're telling me that a lot of people are getting sick of the COVID. So I'm just saying, just be careful, man. It is winter, and usually diseases run more crazier in the winter. Just, take a lot of vitamin C, exercise as best you can. You know what I mean? Take zinc. I've been taking zinc a lot, and just be safe, man. DNA. No on the vaccine. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna hold. Let's put it like this, man. I'm not saying the vaccine's good or bad. I don't know. I'm not back again. Yeah, I've been taking vitamin D, zinc, vitamin C. I've been taking all of those for sure. But like I was telling the other homeboy, I'm not an expert in the medical, so I can't tell you if the vaccine is good or not. I don't know. You know what I mean? I just don't know. I know a lot of people saying don't trust the vaccine. And put it like this, I'm keeping neutral on it. I'm not going to tell you to take it, but I'm not going to tell you not to take it. You know what I mean? Stay indoors, no vitamin D, mask all day. Adjust your breathing, we just need to socialize. I mean, I go out all the time. You know what I mean? I just keep my distance and just don't for myself, but overall, will probably be best for lots of people to take it. The way, like I said, I'm not a medical person. Like I said, I have family members who are nurses who work in the medical field, and I have friends that work in the medical field, and they told me it's no joke that a lot of people are really dying and the hospitals are becoming overflooded. They told me when the disease first came out, it wasn't so bad, but they told me that since about late December, it just went up. You know what I mean? And I like I said, just be safe, man. Take care. You know what I mean? I take the Flintstone vitamin. Yeah, I used to take those back in the day. I take those multivitamins. I take those emergency. I think they're called. They're like those. You can make a little shake with them and you drink them. They have hella vitamins, zinc, and all kind of stuff. I take those a lot. And hospital doctor stuff is all about statistics. Overall, it's helpful. One doctor already died from vaccine, but probably already saved 100 killing the elderly with ventilators and morphine. Yeah, man. Well, I heard two things. One friend of mine told me that most of the deaths have been older people. One of my friends told me that. He says that there have been young people, but most of the younger people between like their 20s and 40s, uh, they get it. They may get sick, but they survive it. But he said that a lot of the people that are dying are people that are over 50 mostly and have preconditions like they have heart problems, they have diabetes, high blood pressure. I'm scared because I did have high blood pressure before. Right now I don't have it because I was taking pills for it, but then now I'm exercising more, so it's gone down, thankfully. But yeah, I had high blood pressure for a while because I was eating bad food and just fucking up. But I've been taking care of myself a little bit better now. But yeah, it was But even me, it makes me nervous. I'm 43. I'm a little overweight, and it could affect me too. So that's why I just try to take care of myself. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I mean? I see a lot of people are joining in. If there's any other topic you would want me to talk about or just want to say hi or, you know, joining me, drop it in the box. Let's see. I'll talk as best I can about it if you want me to talk about any subject. If there's any subject you want me to talk about it that I may know about or may be educated about, I'll try to talk about it. But yeah, man, I'm just glad you guys are joining. It's interesting because we're the Israelites. We're the true Jews, the true chosen people. I've heard that before. That's the I've heard the Hebrew Israelites talk about that before. You know, but yeah, man. Like I said, anybody out there, if you guys are joining in, if you want to drop a suggestion of something you may want me to talk about, let me know, and I might try to talk about it as best I can. I was talking a little bit about COVID, about, I have friends who are in the medical field who are telling me that there are a lot of people getting sick and that the hospitals are really getting overflown. It's not a lie. You know what I mean? I have family members too who are medical professionals, so it's not a lie. Now, like I said before, they did tell me that there was San Leandro Kaiser's full saw it firsthand. Yeah, yeah, I believe it, man. Our coded history was burnt and ripped, and museums, Bibles are history. Yeah, I mean the Aztec and Mayan codexes when the Spaniards came were either burnt or destroyed, or they were taken to to uh to Germany. I heard into Europe. You know what I mean? So they gave us that Bible to believe in, and forced us to believe it by force. But yeah, man, like I said, just be safe out there, man. Just be safe and take a lot of vitamin C, vitamin D. You know, I got hella sick the first days of the shutdown. I stayed in my room for a week. I got sick. Well, I got sick before the shutdown because I had a kidney stone, so that doesn't count. But I pissed the kidney stone out. Since then, I've been drinking a lot of fucking water. But um, I did feel kind of sick. Yeah, I drink the emergency too. I drink that in a lot of water too. Buffalo Bill to the AFC title game. I don't know who Buffalo Bill is, but um, I got sick. Like I remember, I had aches in my arms, and I felt kind of tired. Oh, the NFL. Okay, I haven't been keeping up with the NFL lately, but I got tired and felt like sick back in May, and I kind of just stayed at home and rested it out. But I think it was just a bug. I mean, I don't know if I had COVID. I know I have a couple of friends who tell me that they think they might have had COVID before anyone really knows what it was, because they said they got really sick and they felt some of the symptoms that supposedly COVID has. So these were people talking about like December of 2019, January of 2019. They said they got hella sick and were bedridden for hella days, but they didn't know what it was. They thought it was just a flu. But who knows, man? Who knows? The NFL, I don't know, man. I never was a big NFL fan. I mean, I'm from Oakland, but I never really liked the Raiders because I don't like the owners of the Raiders. I think they're scumbags. You know what I mean? You know, I never liked Al Davis and his family. You know, they're just about the money. They don't care about the fans or the city. So I never was a big Raiders fan. I had a lot of my friends and my family are big Raiders fans, but I never was. My dad used to like the Niners. Niners are okay, but yeah, the Raiders are just, I don't know, man. I have hella family members that are Raiders fan. I was always a MLB fan, so I was a big A's fan. You know, I kept the town business with baseball. It was just the A's. I was an Oakland A's fan, and I'm going back to the days of Ricky Henderson, Jose Canseco. You know what I mean? um, yeah, John Gruden's overpaid. You know, Mark McGuire, Terry Steinbach. You know, I'm going back to those days. You know what I mean? You know, I was a big A's fan. You know, when the '89 earthquake hit. Remember that? They were playing the Giants in the Battle of the Bay. If you guys are old enough to remember that. I was always an A's fan, and I was always a Warriors fan. You know, I like the Warriors. Going back to the time of Chris Mullin and Run TMC, you know, Mitch Richmond, Tim Hardaway, and the other guy, I forget the other guy's name, and Chris Mullin. And I go back to those times, you know what I mean? Jason Richardson and Latrell Sprewell. So I was always a big diehard Warriors fan and an A's fan growing up, at least sports wise. Those were my favorite team. Chris Webber, yeah, but Chris Webber was more popular with the Kings, though. But yeah, he was he was briefly with the Warriors. I remember. Latrell Sprewell. Remember when he choked the coach? That was like in '96, '97. Yeah, I remember Mike Bibby, Doug Christie, Vladi Divac. I remember those guys. I was a big basketball fan when I was young, and a big baseball fan. You know, who remembers Jason Giambi when he used to play with the A's back in the days? That was the old school. And Miguel Tejada, I remember him. Jason Ishringhausen, I remember all those players. But yeah, back in the days, I was big into the A's. I was big into the Warriors. I wasn't a big. The Kings were okay because they were from Northern Cali. I kind of gave them love. You know what I mean? Finals with the Knicks in '99. I think I remember that when Latrell Sprewell went to the Knicks. But yeah, I actually do remember that because I got to see Sprewell play against the Warriors when they had Antoine Jameson and Jason Richardson. That had to have been like 2001 or 2. That's when the games were hella cheap. You could go to a Warriors game for like $10, bro. You got the nosebleed seats, but you got to see a game for like $10. And then I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember what was that, Dollar Wednesdays or something like the Dollar Thursdays, like the A's, when everything costs $1. You know, you get hot dogs for $1. Those were the days, man. I miss those times. Back in the days, that's when I was a youngster. You know what I mean? The old days, like the Coliseum, kicking back. I remember me and my partners, we used to go out there and holler at bitches all the time at the Coliseum. There was always hella girls at the Coliseum. They'd be from all over, too. They'd be from Hayward, San Ho, from Richmond, from like Vallejo, Antioch, Sacramento. It was cool. It used to be hella fun at A's games when I was young, and Warriors games, too. That shit was off the hook. I miss those times. But that's back in the days, so that's way back. Now it costs an arm and a leg to go to a game. You know what I mean? I don't know about A's games. I think they're still fairly cheap, but like, if you want to see the Warriors, now that they moved to Frisco, they're hella expensive, bro. Even when they were in Oakland, when they were doing hella good, I heard it was hella hard to get tickets to a Warriors game, and it was hella expensive if you did. I remember all the scalpers used to hang out right there by the bridge. You know what I mean? The BART bridge going from the Coliseum BART station into the Coliseum. They're always trying to sell you like fake tickets. Nah, they would have real tickets sometimes though. But yeah, that was back in the day. I went last time, maybe 2007, Warriors versus Lakers. Yeah, I went to see the Warriors versus Lakers one time too, but that would have been a little bit before, like 2005, I think. I remember, does anybody remember that one fool that used to hang around the A's games and the Warriors games? His name was Monty. He was a black dude who used to be he'd have no legs and he'd be on a roller skates. He'd be on a skateboard, always bumming for money. I remember that fool. He was cool. I used to talk to him sometimes. Or he'd be out there selling tickets sometimes. He was like a local kind of, I don't know if he was homeless, but remember also we only need 4,000 signatures to recall Gavin Newsom. Mr. Newsom? You don't like Mr. Newsom? I'm not a big fan of his. I mean, I grew up a Democrat, but I don't like Republicans or Democrats these days. I think they're both full of it. No more higher taxes. Yeah, but politically, politically I'm more to the left, but I'm uh I'm not big with political parties. I don't like the Democrats or the Republicans. I think they're both full of shit. To be honest with you, that's my personal opinion on the matter. Don't like either. Yep, I don't like either one of them. I think they're all full of shit. I think they're all for corporate interests. They're all for the rich. They don't give a shit about the working class, about the poor. You know what I mean? They only line their pockets up. That's all they're in there for. The only thing I will give the Republicans, if Republicans are honest, if a Republican tells you, I'm going to stick it in you, he's going to stick it in you. And he'll tell you with a smile on his face that he's going to do it. A Democrat will be more like, well, yeah, I'm going to stick it in you, but, I'm going to put lube on it. And then I'm going to, maybe, I was rudely interrupted. But back to what I was saying, the Republicans will be like, I'm going to stick it in you. They're just going to stick it in you hard and pound it in there and be like, yeah, I did it. What? the Democrats are more like, well, I'm gonna put lube on it first, and then I'm gonna caress the area, and then I'm gonna make you feel good. You know what I mean? I may put some anesthetic for you won't feel it, but yeah, I'm gonna put it in there eventually. But just wait. That's Democrats. So that's the difference between Democrats and Republicans. You know what I mean? And but at the end of the day, they're all one and the same. You know what I mean? I mean, hell, wasn't the Democratic Party the party that created the Ku Klux Klan? You know what I mean? It's a trip. It's just a trip, man. It's a trip. How many of you guys knew out there that Oakland was one of the main Ku Klux Klan towns in in Oakland in California back in the days? A lot of people don't realize that the Ku Klux Klan actually had a chapter in Oakland in the 1920s. You know what I mean? There's actually pictures of them at the Oakland Auditorium, which today it's called the Henry J. Kaiser. Those of you who know where that's at over there by Lake Merritt, they have there's pictures of them having like a Klan rally there, bro. It's a trip. I was I was reading about that not too long ago. The Klan actually had a chapter, so you could imagine what Oakland was like in the 1920s if the Klan had a chapter in Oakland at that time. So you could imagine being a person of color in Oakland at that time, what that would might have been like. But then people forget back then most of East Oakland was all white. You know what I mean? Most of the blacks and browns lived in the West Side. Do your friends who work in the medical field mention the patients with long COVID? Patients with long COVID? What do you mean long COVID? You mean people that who've had it for a long time, or people who are older? The best thing I can tell you is one of my friends told me, and this is what he told me because I asked him about the age ranges. So he told me that he noticed that the people 40 on down are getting sick, but they're not necessarily dying. They're just getting sick. But he told me the people that are probably like 50 on up are the ones that are dying. People who are like 50, 60, 70. People who have diabetes, people who may have heart problems, and even maybe some that are completely healthy. I don't know. You know what I mean? But but that's what one friend told me. You know what I mean? That's what one of my friends told me. But yeah, I've been on a few podcasts lately talking about Oakland Chicano history. You know what I mean? I was talking about the history of Raza in Oakland. Yeah, posts of viral fatigue. People who had COVID and never recovered, but all tests show they're okay, but keep getting headaches, chest pains, fatigues, and other conditions. Yeah, I don't know too much about that. I mean, I hear about that there's a lot of people that get sick, and then they still feel like they never feel the same afterwards, even though they gotten better. Like they still feel fatigued, they still feel tired. But what that statistic is, I'm not sure, bro. But I mean, feel free to Google it. I don't know, bro. If I find something, I'll post it. But I read something somewhere that a lot of the indigenous Mayan population in Oakland, because there's a lot of Mayan people from Guatemala in Oakland. A lot of them are Mom. I heard a lot of them are getting it, bro. Which doesn't surprise me because, face it, the Spaniards, the way they killed off a lot of natives was by diseases. So why doesn't that surprise me? But yeah. But back to what I was saying, I was on two podcasts, and I was talking about Oakland Latino history, and I was talking about why Chicano and Raza history in the Bay Area and in Oakland, the Bay Area is never talked about. It's pretty interesting stuff. What does it say? 90% will die, mainly have chest pains and headaches, but I'm better than before. So Joe King, you had COVID. I know my sister had it. My older sister, she had it. She survived it, thank God. She hasn't told me anything. She seems like she's doing better. I've seen her not too long ago, and she don't seem hella sick. I mean, she got it back in like May or June, something like that. But yeah, my sister got it. My older sister got it, but She got really sick though. She was sick for like 2 weeks, but she recovered from it pretty well. I'm gonna ask her next time I talk to her if she felt any symptoms after. So I guess YouTube doesn't want me talking about the subject because they keep trying to shut down my live feed. But I'm back on here once again. Jose with Oakland Latinos United out here in the East Bay, kicking back, talking about COVID or talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. If you want to talk about some other subject, let me know. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I mean. Like I was saying before, those of you who maybe remember, yeah, say woo poo flu, not the other official name. Yeah, say woo poo flu, not the other name. You know, they always do that. Every time I have a live feed, they always cut my live feed at 5 minutes. I don't know, at the 5 minute mark. I don't know why. You know, I don't know. You know, technically, don't know if I had it, but March I had a sharp chest pain, razor blade cutting me. They didn't do the nasal test because they didn't have the test, but the attendant said I had it. Yeah, I don't know, bro. If you had it, you know, if you're still feeling symptoms, that's a trip, man. But I honestly don't know. I mean, I have heard stories of people saying that they felt even symptoms after the fact. You know what I mean? It's a trippy disease, man. It's just a trippy time, man. You know? Yeah, it's been almost a year. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Have you went to a doctor to get just to get a checkup, just in case? You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's crazy times, man. That's all I can say. I mean, I used to hear about these kind of things back in the, because I'm a historian. Okay, look, this is one thing. If you guys have been watching Oakland Latinos United, I'm a history nerd. I love history, so I've been studying history for years and years and years. Like I said, it's not as bad as before, but better than before doctors stuck. They said it's anxiety. Yeah, it could be a panic attack. I've had those before. Has been a long time, but I've had them. Well, back to what I was saying. I'm a history nerd, so I love history. I'm a history buff. Don't ask me why. I just love history. I've always loved things of the past. And I read about like these diseases, you know what I mean? I read about cholera, like they used to have cholera epidemics back in the days. The Spanish flu, which was 100 years ago, literally. You know, the Black Plague, which was the mother of all plagues, you know what I mean? Also, you know, the Native American smallpox plague that killed a lot of our people that were Ishan, Mayan, and Zebulon. But you know, I've read about these things. I remember Boy Loco back in the days. I read about the Black Plague in Europe, scary stuff. Yeah, the Black Plague came from Asia. A lot of people, you know, it's fucked up to say that, but it came from Asia. You know what I mean? Supposedly, according to historians. Somebody says I remember Boy Loco. Are you talking about the restaurant or the rapper? But uh, yeah, you know, I read about these things, and I read about also the smallpox epidemic that was brought in by the Spaniards and the Europeans that decimated a lot of the Native Americans. And it's scary stuff. It's stuff that I never thought I would live through because supposedly we got comfortable with uh with medicine. So I think we got comfortable and we got a little overconfident that nothing like that was gonna happen. I know I did. I was like, you know, there's a lot of science now and people they understand medicine and the body. I don't know if a big plague could ever happen like that again, but long behold, it's happening. You know what I mean? And I'm living through it, and it's a trip. It's a trip that the things that I read about in history are happening now, my very in front of me, as I speak and live and breathe. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a trippy time for sure, bruh. Have you slapped Drado by Mac Dre? Dradio? Are you talking about Tradio? You're talking about Tradio? Are you talking about the old Trill TV? I used to have the old Trill TV DVD back in the days. If that's what you're talking about, I don't know if I have it anymore. I might have it somewhere. Mac Drizzy. I remember the first time I heard of Mac Dre was like 89, 90. I heard that song, Tell Me Something Good. I'm too hard for the fucking radio. I was hella young. I had that. My brother had it on cassette. You know what I mean? It was that first Mac Dre cassette. Like, that was like 89, 90. You know, that's the first time I ever heard of Mac Dre. A lot of fools don't even know that Mac Dre goes that far back. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was back in the days. Mac Drizzy from the Crest Side, Vallejo. I used to live in Vallejo. Anybody here from Vallejo, from the B Town? I used to live in Vallejo. I used to have hella fun in Vallejo. You know, I always tell people laughing, I lost my virginity in Vallejo. But yeah, Vallejo's the shit, bro. I used to live out there, bro. You remember watching Kids of Violence? El Me- at El I actually met at a Mexicano store. I'm going to send some blood work company. Somebody said, "Are you talking about the Children of Violence? You're talking about the documentary, the one from the early '80s, from '82, '83." Yeah, I've watched it many times. I seen it when I was a kid too. I met that dude Bean. I don't know if he's still alive, but I know I met him a few years back. Yeah, I met him before. He a little old now. He kind of not all there. Back once again after our rudely interrupted program. But yeah, Bean, I met him before. He's kind of not all there anymore though. The last time I seen him, I guess the years of abuse with drugs and alcohol and shit. You know, living that crazy life. You know, but I heard his brothers passed away. The ones in the documentary. I know his mom passed away a long time ago. But yeah, I mean I know that hood. They were over there from 65th Ave, over there by 65th and East 14th in that area. You know that was their hood. I guess now they call the new guys UNTs, the new generation of that hood. But with the history of pandemics, well, I mean, I only know from what I read. You know, like the Black Plague was the big one that hit in the 1500s, I think, that supposedly originated in Europe and it spread all over. I mean, Asia and it spread all over Europe. I don't think it came to the Americas because I think it happened before the 1500s. I think it happened before anyone even came to America from Europe. But there was a Black Plague. One thing that used to be very common in the old days was cholera. You know what I mean? Cholera was very big, was a big killer in the old days. And those of you who don't know what cholera is it's created by fecal matter, by shit basically. And you got to remember, people weren't very cleanly back in the days. It was hard to clean your hands too because there wasn't running water everywhere. So, you know, a lot of people cooked with whatever they had. You know what I mean? And a lot of people cooked and ate with their hands dirty. You know, so cholera was a very, very big thing back then. A lot of people got cholera back then, and a lot of people would die from that. I guess cholera was some kind of diarrhea disease where you would get diarrhea and it would basically drain your system. It would I guess what's the word I want to talk about when you don't have dehydrate you and it would kill you. So cholera was a big killer in the old days because of lack of cleanliness. You know, with lack of plumbing, people didn't have ways of cleaning their hands and stuff. So cholera epidemics hit a lot. Today they don't really hit because now we have soap, we have running water, we can clean our hands everywhere. But back in those days, they didn't have those amenities at hand, so a lot of people would cook with their hands dirty, uh, eat with their hands dirty, and they would get this cholera stuff, and it would kill them. You know, look it up. Look up cholera epidemics. That was a very big killer back in the days. It happened all over the world too. It even happened here in the Bay Area. There were cholera epidemics in the Bay Area. They happened in Mexico. A lot of people might not know the momias de Guanajuato. Anybody ever heard of that? Las momias de Guanajuato. Supposedly the mummies of Guanajuato were the victims of a cholera epidemic. So what happened was hella people died from cholera, and they tried to bury all of them at the same time, and a lot of the bodies got mummified. So that's where the mummies of Guanajuato are actually victims of a cholera epidemic. So yeah, look up cholera. Today, people don't really get cholera because, like I said, now we clean our hands, we take showers, we have access to running water. But you got to remember, in the old days, there was none of that. None of that. People, to have water, you had to go to the river to get water, or however you can, you know what I mean? Or rainwater or whatever, and it just think about it, bro. You took a shit and you couldn't wash your hands anywhere. So, you know, that's just how it was. So yeah, cholera was a big one for sure. Thank God we don't got to deal with that no more. But that was back in the days when people used to get that. A lot of people used to die from that too. You know. Yeah, when I read about the Black Plague, people said they kept saying UFOs and objects unknown to them. So we were always clean by nature. Yeah, I think the Aztecs and the Mayas knew how to clean themselves. The Europeans were very dirty people for sure. Europeans were dirty for various reasons. The Moors were very clean too. The Moors, the ones who invaded Spain, they actually tried to clean up Europe, but the Spaniards rebelled because of the Catholic Church. It was in our laws. Yeah, I'm a very clean person. I take a shower every day. I always wash my hands. I'm always smelling good. I really don't like looking like shit or smelling like shit. Half Arabs. Yeah, but yeah, a lot of people don't realize that Spain was ruled by the Moors for what, 700 years? Aztecs always ate chiquilines. Kills a lot of bacteria. Yeah, I believe it. I heard the Aztecs and the natives, they had a lot of remedies. Even to this day in Mexico, they still have a bunch of medical remedios that are descendant from what the Aztecs and the ancient civilizations had. You know, herbal remedies and stuff like that. In South America, they use the coca leaf for different things too. So yeah, man, that's our ancient ancestors were cleanly people. It was when the Europeans came that all those diseases and all that stuff started hitting the Americas. You know, it's a trip, man. How here in the Bay Area, the Native American population was decimated. The Ohlones, who were the native people here, man. It's sad when you think about it, man. That there's very little traces of those people left, man. There are some around still. I've met a few, but there's very few traces of them left, man. Most people don't even know that the native tribe of the Bay Area was the Ohlones. You know what I mean? Oakland, San Francisco, San Jose, all these areas was Ohlone territory. And the diseases that were brought by the Europeans, by the Spaniards, the mission system, you know what I mean? All the missions that were around the Bay Area, they got enslaved in the missions, decimated their population, which is sad when you think about it, man. It's sad how the whole native, real people of the Bay Area were just destroyed, man. It's fucked up when you think about it. And I think about them, they were probably very cleanly people. They lived off the land, you know what I mean? They hunted in the lakes, like Lake Merritt in Oakland. That was a natural lake. You know what I mean? It used to be abundant with fish and animals. So I heard that there were so many fish in the bay. This is what I read, that you could actually go to the waterfront and just grab a fish with your hand, and there was your dinner to eat, bro. That's how many fish there were in the bay and in the lakes in the Bay Area. In the ancient times before the Spaniards and the Europeans. You know what I mean? And there was animals all over the place, supposedly. You know what I mean? Like, the whole Bay Area was full of bears and mountain lions and just wildlife. You know? But yeah, a lot of people don't realize, don't talk about that, about the native people here, the Ohlones, who lived off trees and acorns and stuff like that, and hunted the local animals and fish in the lakes and the bay. How many of you? Yep. Today the Bay Area. I remember back in the Bay, back in the night, it was short and clear. It was sort of clear. Yeah. Today the waters in the Bay are polluted as hell. You know what I mean? I remember swimming in Alameda Beach when I was a little kid. We used to go to Alameda Beach and swim all the time over there in Crown Beach, if you know where that's at. You know, that was our spot to go swimming. But yeah, man, when you think about it, the Ohlonies were destroyed by diseases. The native people in the Bay Area that were brought from the missions by the Spaniards and the soldiers who were brought in to the Bay Area to man the garrisons. You know, like the Presidio in San Francisco, El Pueblito de San Jose, which is where San Jose originated from, Sonoma, which Sonoma was, one of the military outposts. And it was, yeah, man, it was the Spanish government that decimated the Ohlone population. And it's just crazy when I think about it, you know. That the native people of the Bay are not here anymore, or very few of them are left. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Shell Mounds. The Shell Mounds were like these little mountains that were made by the Ohlonies back in the days. I remember talking to an old timer and going to Oakland Stadium. We used to have marshes and ponds where he was a kid. I heard that too. I heard that the Coliseum was nothing. That whole area was just like empty fields and ponds and stuff like that. That's what I heard. I heard that too. So yeah, that is true. You know what I mean? I heard the Oakland airport was smaller too. But yeah, I heard that area over there by Hangenberger wasn't really much out there back in the days. That was before my time though. By the time I remembered, it was already built up. You know. But yeah, that was back in the days, probably. I remember the old Oakland Coliseum. I mean, not the Oakland Coliseum, the Oakland Coliseum Drive-In. Who remembers that? Used to be right down where the Coliseum Flea Market is today. That was the drive-in back in the '80s and early '90s when I was a kid. I remember going to see movies there all the time with my parents. That was way back. You know what I mean? If you remember that, who remembers the castle? Remember the castle? Used to be right there in the Coliseum parking lot. Who remembers that? That's hella old school. The castle, Malibu, where they had the little racing go karts. That's hella old school if you remember that. You an old school Oakland person or Bay Area person if you remember that. That was back in the days. But yeah. Shit, I remember when Los Mexicanos Market on High Street and if I remember the castle in Malibu. Yeah, the castle was in Malibu. Yep. The castle and Malibu. They were the same thing pretty much. But I remember when Los Mexicanos Market on High Street and East 14th was the only big Mexican store in Oakland. I mean, there were other little small Mexican stores like La Fortuna was one. Arts, which used to be on Fruitvale, over there by the bar station. But not too many. Los Mexicanos was like the big one. Oh yeah, I remember the festival at the lake. I remember that. I went to it a couple times. Like towards the end, though, I heard there was like a lot of drama. I didn't get to go to the last festivals at the lake, but I heard there was just a lot of drama there towards the end. I don't know, because I didn't, like I said, I didn't get to go. Who remembers Cinco de Mayo at San Antonio Park? That's old school. If you remember that too, the big Cinco de Mayo festival at San Antonio Park. You guys remember that? I remember going to that in the '90s when I was a youngster. That was back in the days. But yeah, I remember the Castle Malibu. But yeah, Los Mexicanos Market on High Street. That was one of the few big Mexican stores on East 14th when I was a kid. There was La Fortuna. I think there was one called El Progreso. It used to be on like 48th and East 14th, somewhere around there. La Fortuna on Fruitvale. Oh, there used to be Miramontes. You guys remember Miramontes? It used to be over there on like 15th Ave and East 14th. It was across the street from another Mexican store called Lily's. I remember my mom used to shop at those stores when I was a kid. That was back in the days. That's way back. That's like old school Mexican Oakland. If you're a Mexican from Oakland, you remember that. But yeah, I remember the festival at the lake. I remember Flink's Barbecue. That was a popular place. I remember a lot of my black homies used to always talk about that place. There used to be one on Fruitvale, and I think there used to be one in West Oakland on San Pablo. Did I ever try Flink's barbecue? I can't remember. I might have. I think I might have once or twice. You know what I mean? But I remember that spot back in the days. I remember Merrick's Bakery. Who remembers the old school Merrick's Bakery, the big one by the lake? I used to go there all the time. We used to buy cakes there whenever there was a birthday party. We always were at Merrick's Bakery buying a cake. That's the old G spot right there. If you remember that spot, right there by Lake Merritt on East 18th, I think, over there by the lake. Yeah, Merrick's Bakery. That was the spot. There's actually still there. There's a smaller Merrick's Bakery. It's on over there on Lakeshore, kind of by the Grand Lake Theater. There's a smaller one. If you remember, if you guys ever been there, you could still get some of like the fried chicken. You could get the cakes too, but it's still there. They still got it smaller though now. It's not the big one they used to have back in the days. If you're an old school Oakland person, you remember Merrick's Bakery. That's OG shit right there. That's the old school. There was another one too in downtown in North Oakland. I remember called Melbournes Bakery too, but I didn't really go to that one much, but I remember it. And I don't know if anybody remembers Genova's Deli in North Oakland off of Telegraph. They used to sell bomb ass sandwiches there. It was an Italian deli. That place was hella famous. But yeah, man. So what's up with everybody? Who's on here? Drop me a note. Say hello. It's been a good live feed. At least I've had people on here. You forgot about Oakland Bakery. Which one was Oakland Bakery? Are you talking about Merrick's Bakery? That's the one I'm talking about. The one right there by the lake. If that's the one you're talking about. But Oakland Bakery. I don't remember an Oakland Bakery. Refresh my memory. Where was it at? But But yeah, man. So what's up, man? Drop a note. Say what's up. How you guys been? How you liking this live feed? Like I said, I try to do a live feed every weekend on Saturday or Sunday. Today I decided to do it on Saturday. Just kicking back at the house. Want to interact with my public. I'm glad I had a lot more people on today, and we've been discussing stuff. It's nice. I like when you guys throw in suggestions or talk about different issues. You know, I like to keep it like that. But yeah, Oakland Bakery. I don't remember that one. You know, by the freeway. I know where Oakland Ave is. Was there a bakery over there? I don't remember. I know where Oakland Ave. That's up there by the 580 going towards Piedmont, right? That's way up there. I don't remember. There probably was a bakery up there. I know there was Neldham's Bakery. That was by the 580, kind of. That was up there on Telegraph. Like, Telegraph, and I forget. I think it's something still there. It doesn't have to do today, but any thoughts on Ghost Ship? Do you have a video of it? I think I made a video about the Ghost Ship fire. I can't remember. You know, it's crazy. I seen the Ghost Ship fire happening. I was, that day, I actually had a performance in San Jose. And when I was coming back from San Jose, back towards the town, I could see smoke coming from Fruitvale. And I got off on Fruitvale, and I seen the fire going on. It was still going on, but I think it had already passed, because it was around a little smoke right by the gas station. Yeah, I don't remember that bakery, homie. But I remember driving by it, and the fire was still going on, but all the people that had died and all that, I think that had happened earlier, because it was already like 2 hours after the fire had happened, and it was still burning. Actually, I remember there was still smoke in the air. But I remember that was crazy. I have pictures of the Ghost Ship fire of like like the next day. I took pictures. I remember. I think I made a video about it. I can't remember. Yeah, I heard that was the first Friday, but I wasn't in Oakland that day. I was in San Jose that day, because I got contracted for a performance out there, and so I was in San Jose that whole night. I remember I was in what part of San Jose was I on? I was over there by Almaden, which is like I think that's south of San Jose. I don't know if that's South San Jose. I don't know what part of San Jose that is. But I was off of Almaden. And yeah, we played at some bar over there. And then we came. I was coming back to Oakland. And when I was coming towards like passing the High Street exit, you know how you could see the Fruitvale exit coming up? I could see smoke. Yeah, I could see smoke. And then I got off on Fruitvale and I drove out of curiosity by East 14th and Fruitvale, and I seen all the fire. I seen the fire department still putting the fire out. It was still kind of burning, but it wasn't burning heavily. Like I said, I think the fire had started maybe 2 hours prior, because you got to remember this was like at midnight when I was coming back from San Jose. So yeah, that fire started sometime like around, I don't know, I want to say around like 9 or 10, I think. But yeah, that was a crazy ass fire, man. I thank God. I mean, I had been to a couple of like warehouse parties in Oakland, but I never got a chance to go to the ghost ship. You know what I mean? I want to say that guy Almena, that guy who did it, who was running it. I want to say I've seen him around before, but I don't remember him though. You know, I didn't know him. But I had been to a couple of warehouse parties. You know, they were kind of fun, but I never got to go to that ghost ship shit. You know what I mean? That shit was crazy though. That killed what, like 30 people, 32 people, almost 40 people, I think. I remember one of my homies, homeboys died. Oh, the original Dewey? You mean the one that used to be on East 12? Near 40th? Yeah, the original Dewey. Are you talking about the one right there by East 12, by like 38 kind of? I remember it. My brother used to go there. All right, who remembers by the first Dewey? If you're OG, who remembers there used to be a Mexican restaurant right there called La Morenita or La Morena? It used to be right on East 12 by 38, right next to. My bad, I'm back. But yeah, right next to the Dewey School, there used to be La Morena. It used to be a small little hole in the wall restaurant right there. They tore it down though. Now I think they made the school a little bit longer than when it used to be. But yeah, I remember the original Dewey. It used to be right by the Fruitvale Bar, right there on East 12. I remember that. That's hella old school. I never went there, but my brother did because his ass was always getting in trouble and shit. But yeah. What about Street Academy? Does anybody remember Street Academy, the original ones? Emiliano Zapata, that used to be on Miller and East 15th over there by Quince and the Doves. Yeah, 38, 12, 37. Yeah, that's the old school. Yeah, I remember that one. Hell yeah. Yeah, I remember, bro. I grew up in the Fruitvale area, so I know that area real well. All of that, 38, 36, Bridge, Fruitvale, Foothill, Jingletown. I know all that. That whole area. That's like, my hood. That's where I'm from. You know what I mean? So to me, I know that area like the back of my hand. That and the Doves. I know the Doves real well too. You know, I'm from the Middle East, Oakland. I grew up in the Mexican hood, right next door to the little small hole in shack restaurant, but they have the best nachos there. Yeah, yeah, it was called La Morena. I remember going there a few times. They used to sell pretty good burritos too. Yeah, that was that was way back in the days. You know, they tore that down though. The building got torn down. I think they tore the building down and they expanded the yard of Dewey. Or it's like a elementary school now. But yeah, I remember that old school. I think they moved Dewey, right? If I remember right. It's like down there by Funktown now. But yeah, there used to be an old school too, the Street Academy, the Emiliano Zapata Street Academy. It used to be on Miller. That was the original Fruitvale before it went East 15. Yeah, I think I heard about the original one being on East 14. Over there where Wendy's is, right? That was before my time though. I remember the one on Miller though. That's when I was a little kid. That one was there. Because I remember we knew some folks that used to go to school there. You know? But yeah. I remember we took like I was saying, that old Street Academy building on Miller and East 15th, it used to be a library back in the days. But we took over that building when I was into protesting. I actually have videos on here of it, and and you know what I mean. We took over that building and turned it into like a library for the community. That was pretty dope. Then the police raided it, and then we took it over again, and then hella dolphins took it over, and it kind of died out. Old school rolling 20s, dirty 30s, murders. Nah, I'm playing 30s. I'm fucking with you. I remember when they used to call it the Twomps too. The Twomps, remember that back in the days? The Rolling 20s. Deuce Deuce, 23rd, East 15th. Up there, the top of the Doves, the bottom of the Doves. You know, Mitchell Street, 26th, 27th. You know what I mean? All those neighborhoods, 29th. Over there by Hawthorne Elementary School, Centro Infantil de la Raza. I know all those areas. But yeah. What So I was asking a question: who's old enough to remember the Fruitvale Playhouse, which was a little movie theater where they used to show like Disney and kid movies? It used to be on Farnham and Fruitvale Ave, like a block up from East 14th. Who remembers that spot? I remember going there when I was a little kid to see movies. I remember sometimes they would show like Cholo movies, like Zoot Suit and Boulevard Nights, but they would show mostly like Disney movies and like little kids movies. Who remembers that spot? The old school Fruitvale Playhouse. That's old school right there. If you remember that spot, or who remembers when they used to have the morning matinees at the Grand Lake Theater for little kids? So they would show like little kids movies in the morning, so you could go see movies in the morning. They would play nothing but little kids movies. I remember going to see Transformers the movie in 1980s. There, the original Transformers the movie at the Grand Lake Theater when they used to have the morning matinees. See, that's how old I am, man. I'm hella old already. But yeah. R.I.P. Big Joe, Mitchell Street. I remember that. Oh yeah, the Grand Lake with the organ, right? Yeah, I remember when Big Joe got killed. That was like 98, 99. I know his brothers, Dave and his other brother Mike. I know them. They're my homies. I know them from way back in the days. But yeah, that's sad when that happened when his brother got killed. That's messed up. He got killed right there at Cedar Chavez Park. You know, over there in the 30s off of Foothill. But yeah, the Grand Lake Theater, the Fruitvale Playhouse. Those are like my childhood memories of Oakland. You know what I mean? Oh, the Plaza Theater, the Mexican movie theater. It used to be on East 12 and 7th Ave down there by Wino Park, by Clinton Square Park. They used to call it Wino Park over there in Funktown. You guys remember that spot? That's like old school Oakland right there. You know. That's how far back I go into town, man. I remember hella stuff from back in the days. I'm an old guy already. I'm 43. I mean, I'm not that old, but, you know, I'm up there. But yeah, man, it's been an hour. Um, and I want to thank all of you guys who joined this live feed. And we talked about COVID. We talked about the hoods. We talked about the history of Oakland. We talked about, yeah, the East Mall Theater, the Fourth Star Theater. I remember that. Remember the big dome theater over there off of Hangenberger, the Century? You know what I mean? But, and the Coliseum Drive-In. But, yeah, man, I'm gonna let you guys go. It's been an hour. I'm gonna, I'm gonna keep making more videos. I'm gonna do some more barrio tours. Drop me any suggestions of any hoods you might want me to show that I haven't shown yet. Um, yeah, like my Instagram page, like my Facebook page. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. You know, watch my videos, comment, like, subscribe, and keep supporting my work, man. Because I'm only trying to make it bigger. Like I said, I'm trying to do Okay, I'll see if I could do one for sure next time I'm in the area by the ghost ship. But yeah, man. Keep liking my videos and keep supporting this Jose with Oakland Latinos United. Like I said, follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. I'll talk to you guys later. But anyway, if you guys are on here, any other suggestions of any hoods you might want me to do, like any barrio tours, any new ones or hood tours that I could maybe look into, I've done the Murder Doves. I've done Fruitvale. I'm gonna do the Dirty Thirties next, like the back part. I've done a little bit of West Oakland. I've done Marin City, Redwood City, San Jose. A couple more. So I want to do a couple more places in Oakland and in other cities too. I need to do San Francisco Mission District too. But I'll talk to you guys later. Late.